Hi there, welcome to another video for Leaving Cert Ordinary Level Maths. We'll be continuing with trigonometry and looking at the inverse of sine, cos and tan. When we're doing these questions, it's important that you have your calculator in the correct setting, so we want it to be in degrees mode. So usually on a calculator there will be a D or G button for degrees, radians, gradient. You want to press that until you get to degrees. Or you might press Shift, Set Up, and it'll say angle unit, and you want to go into that and change it to degrees. Previously, we used sine, cos and tan to find the length of sides in a right angle triangle. Now we're going to do the inverse or opposite of that and use the length of the sides to find the size of the angle. The inverse is written as that little -1 above the sine, cos and tan, so it means the opposite of sine, cos and tan. These questions start the exact same as the other ones, so we're going to put our memory at the top. And then looking at our right angle triangles, we identify the right angle and the side opposite will be the hypotenuse. And once we have the hypotenuse labelled, we can begin to label the opposite side and the adjacent. We're looking at angle A, so the side opposite it is the one that has a value of 3. And the adjacent side will be the near one with a value of 7. We know the opposite and adjacent, so that means we will be using tan. And filling in then, we want tan of the angle A equals the opposite side, which has a value of 3, over the adjacent side, which has a value of 7. Just like in algebra, we don't want tan A, we want just A on its own. So to get A, I need to bring the tan over to the other side. And instead of changing its sign, it becomes the inverse, or the opposite tan. So inverse tan 3 over 7, which can go into your calculator. To get inverse tan, press Shift and then tan, and it'll give you the inverse. And angle A then works out to be 23.198 degrees, and we're going to round that off to maybe 23 degrees. And that's why it's important that your calculator is in the correct mode, because there's a big difference between 23 degrees and 23 radians. The second example, label your get your right angle and label your sides. There's the right angle. The hypotenuse will be across from it. We're looking at angle Q, so the side with a value of 10 is the opposite side, and the side nearest angle Q will be the adjacent. We know the opposite and the hypotenuse, so that means we're using sine. Sine of Q equals the opposite side, which is 10 over 25. We don't want sine Q, we want the angle Q. So we go sine inverse 10 over 25. And Q works out to be 23.578. So let's say 24 degrees. So the two angles are actually very similar to each other. That's using sine, cos and tan to find the size of an angle in a right angle triangle. I hope you found it useful.